Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? There we go. So this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. My name is Stacy Niedenthal. I come to you every Tuesday at 10:30, and we talk about, we talk about life. We talk about death. We talk about meditation. We talk about wholeness and oneness and coming back home. We talk about grief. We've talked about suicide. We've talked about the recipe in our lives. We've talked about how to move from one day to the next day. So Tuesdays are kind of that sacred time for all of us to get together and just have a moment to talk about things that maybe you're not comfortable in talking with other people about. So if you're on, let me know that you're here, so that we can get started. So today, good grief, it is March 7th already. Can you believe that? March 7th. Good morning, Mary Jo. Good morning. I can't always see the comments, so I'm so glad that you commented that I could see you. But yeah, March 7th already. Spring is getting closer and closer. Days are getting longer. You know, my happy time of the year is coming. So I always like to set part of my intention so that you know who I am and what I'm about. My name is Stacy. I am a child of God. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a spiritual healer. And I've been given a gift from God to channel spirit using love and light for my higher good and the higher good of those that God puts in my path. I'm not the medium that says I see death all around you and you're going to be dead in 10 days. My gift, my prayer is that God, that spirit, that angels bring in the most loving message to help your spirit heal. If you were sitting in front of me, this is part of the intention that you would hear. All mediums work differently. It doesn't mean one's right and one's wrong. We just have our own strengths, our own modalities of how we work. And I always like to kind of explain that before we start, just so, you know, for those who've never had a reading before, kind of know how it works. And today we're going to talk about alignment. But you know what? I did not put down my dates. I have 2 intimate group readings in Bel Air, Maryland coming up in March. Goodness. Sorry, I should have had it written down. It's like, I think it's the 27th. No, 2 intimate group readings, March 28th and 29th. I have 2 privates left in the Bel Air area when I'm there. So let me know you're here. Say hi. If this is the first time you've been on, put a 1 so I can personally welcome you after I'm finished with Tuesday Talks. And let me know where you're watching from. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about alignment. What is alignment? You hear me talk about it all the time. Balance, getting aligned, feeling aligned with your mind, your body, and your spirit. But if it's something that you don't understand what it is, it's hard. It's like, what is it? How do I get there? Like, is there a certain thing that I need to do to be in alignment? Why do I need to be in alignment? So that's why I thought today would be a good day to talk about that. You know, spring is coming, new blossoms, new life, new things. March is a good time to have that renewal. You know, we're marching into our new life, basically. We're marching into our new energy. So I looked up what alignment was, and I thought what I would read is what the definition of when you're not aligned is. And it says, when our God-given identity is not reflected in our work, we are out of alignment. We struggle to stay motivated, to find meaning in the work that we do on a daily basis. So that's what it means when you are not in alignment, when you struggle to do things on a daily basis, when you feel unmotivated, when something just doesn't feel right within the body, within the energy, within yourself. So why would it be important to be in alignment? Well, it helps us to reach new potentials. It enhances our productivity, and it makes you self-aware of what you are fulfilling in the universe, what the universe is giving to you, and what you are giving out. It makes you, aware of the impact that you have on others, as well as the impact others have on you. So that's why alignment is so important. Wouldn't you like to know that you have impacted someone somehow in this world? Also, when you sit back and you think, excuse me, who has impacted me in this world? Why did they impact me? Sorry, I'm going to grab them in here. Why did they impact me? How did they impact me? How did they change my thought process? That's all part of alignment. So, you know, it's real easy to say, oh, well, I just need to get my body in alignment. Well, how do you move towards that? How do you do that? How do you know if you are or if you're not in alignment? All right. So do you feel what's the word? Do you feel unfulfilled in your life, in your career? Do you feel like there's something that's missing? Do you feel like you just can't quite put your finger on what you need or who you are? Are you unmotivated? Is it hard to get your butt off the couch? Is it difficult to get up in the morning to go to work? Is it difficult, once you get to work to start working? Are you working robotically and not with passion? Is it work or is it a passion? Do you have problems sleeping? So having problems sleeping is either sleeping too little or sleeping too much. Does the mind constantly go round and round and round and it's hard for you to shut your mind off? Or do you constantly feel like you're nodding off or, oh man, I need a nap? Do you have self-esteem issues? Do you feel like you're not good enough? Do you feel like you're not going to be successful? Do you feel like you can't create a good environment for people? Do you have trust issues? Not only trusting other people, but trusting yourself, trusting your own opinions, trusting who's around you and where you're at and what you're doing and if you're doing the right thing constantly. That's part of that self-esteem when you don't trust yourself. Okay, so now we're recognizing this. So now that we've recognized maybe we're unmotivated or we have self-esteem issues or trust issues. So recognizing it is the first step. So what do I do now that I've recognized it? There's a couple things that you can do to help you get your mind, body, and spirit in alignment. And I'm going to just kind of list them and then I'm going to break them down and talk about them. So you can meditate. You can do breath work, journal, read about spiritual practices, create a sacred space, actions, do something. Find your tribe and seek out their support. Give yourself space and grace, and then repeat. So it's that ongoing thing. You're not going to fall into alignment and then just stay in alignment. And when you think about alignment, I was thinking about different things to talk about. Your car has to be in alignment in order for you to not have to fight to drive it down the highway. When it's not in alignment, it's going to pull right or pull left. If there's something wrong with your bearings, there's going to be this squeaking or this almost like metal to metal, that's rubbing. So alignment is important in our vehicle, in who we are. So, when you think about, and I know I'm using some cliches here, the easiest way from point A to point B is a straight line. Well, if your body's not in alignment, there's not a straight line there. So it takes a little while for you to figure out how to get motivated. You don't just, this is what I'm going to do. Here we go. Ready or not, It takes a while to get to that. So alignment of your car, alignment of the mind, the body, and the spirit are important. So we're going to break down some of these steps. So the first and foremost, the one for me that always is my go-to, well, there's two. It's the first two that I listed, of course, is meditating and breath work. So with breath work, it is just getting in touch with your breath. It's taking that deep breath in and letting all the air out. taking a breath in as deep as you can and letting it all out. It's practicing this. And that you've all heard me say before, I never realized how shallow of a breather I was until I started meditating. It's taking in just as much air as you can, holding it for a second, and letting it out. What does this do? What does it do? Why do I have to do this? Well, when you take in a deep breath, it relaxes the whole body. It's bringing that fresh oxygen into all the muscles, all the cells, all the corpuscles, everything that's in your body. It's bringing fresh oxygen in. And then when you release it, you feel your shoulders kind of, relax, your stomach relaxes, your legs relax, your body relaxes. If you fight migraines, if you have migraines, hi Mary Jo. If you're someone who has migraines a lot, breath work is pretty important, because a headache a lot of time is caused by stress in the neck muscles, stress in the shoulders. And when you take that deep breath and let it out, it allows your shoulders to relax. It gets fresh oxygen to the brain. It may not 100% get rid of the headache, but it will help it to relax. Of course, hydrating will also help with that. Massages. I highly recommend massages. So the breath work and the meditation go hand in hand. Because when you're meditating, and I have a lot of people that say to me, I can't meditate. I just can't meditate. Yes, you can. You don't have to kumbaya for an hour and a half. You can just get in touch with your breath for a few minutes, for a few seconds, 3 breaths, just to calm everything down. And when I meditate, I like to visualize a white light at the top of my head. Here I am getting ready to close my eyes to talk to you about meditating. And visualizing that white light just coming down through my body and rinsing off anything from the day before that was bothering me. I like to just breathe through it. And there are times if my mind won't focus, where my mind's all over the place, when I breathe in, I'll go, align. Align. I'll concentrate on one word to help me focus, to help shut off my brain. I might use the word of peace, love, breathe. When someone gets all anxious and excited and Regina, I meditate with chakra video on YouTube. Oh, there's a lot of great meditations on YouTube for chakra meditations, for being able to fall asleep, for healing. Definitely check out YouTube. And the guided meditations are, some of them are just absolutely unbelievable. But yes, thank you for saying that, Regina. And that helps sometimes too, for me anyway. When it's guided, I have to listen to someone else. So it turns the chatter off in my mind. All right? So we're breathing white light into our body. We want to align. We want to relax the mind, the body, and the spirit. We want to relax all of our muscles. We want to relax everything that's within us, because when we meditate, it allows things to become clearer. You're looking for clarity. That's part of alignment. If there's a problem that you're having, meditate on it. Meditate on it. Doesn't mean to have the conversation that you had for the meditation. Meditate on what's the solution. What's the solution? What's my path? Right? So concentrating on words to help to slow the mind, body, and spirit down. So meditating on it. After you meditate, when you're doing your breath work, or after you've done your breath work, to me, the two kind of go hand in hand. Journal about it. As soon as you're done meditating, take a journal out and write. Whatever comes to mind. That's where your answers are going to be. That's where your clarity is going to be. Those are the things that are going to help you to go, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. But when you slow the mind down and pick up the pencil and paper and write without thinking, that will help you to find clarity. Read about spiritual practices. I cannot emphasize enough. Read, 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 read. Of course, to me, reading the Bible, a lot of good scriptures. The Psalms are amazing. There's a lot of really great Romans, talks about Paul, talks about, I don't do what I should do and I shouldn't do what I do. And I know what I should do, but I can't seem to do it. Well, that still is my life in a nutshell a lot of times. So Paul had these struggles. So if Paul had these struggles, it's just human that we all have these struggles. It's recognizing it and then doing something about it. So some of the books, I pulled out a couple books just to kind of give you an idea. I mean, if you ever come into my office, you'll see books everywhere. I love books. So some of the books that I've read that have helped me, this is a book by Sally Fletchman. It's Music, Healing, and Harmony. And it tells you it talks about reducing pain through harmony, through music. It's changing your mood through music. It allows you to not just hear the music, but feel the music. That vibration. It's healing. It truly is healing. So this book just talks about how to lift your energy up, how to find clarity through music, through vibration. Okay? And then Echo Bodine is one of my favorite authors. And this is called Echo of the Soul. And basically she talks about what the true, what the true path is to find what your soul's purpose is. And she leaves it open-ended because you may have several soul paths. You may have several things that you need to do before you get to what your true journey is. And what she does is she talks about all these things. Echo also has a book that's called Healing Hands that I read, and What Happens When You Die. And oh my gosh, God, I have so many Echo Bodine books, it's not even funny. Then my daughter turned me on to this. This is by Rebecca Campbell, and this is Light is the New Black. And this book basically is talking about bringing light to the world. Even if you're in the dark, it's bringing light to the world. And how to bring that light, how to, beam with that light within yourself so that you can bring light out of the darkness, right? There's so many weird things that are going on right now. There's, depression and anxiety runs rampant. Unemployment is crazy. And when you get stuck in a rut of darkness, it's hard to find your light. So when you read this, and it's a very simple read. It really is a very simple read. I don't know how many chapters are in here, but each chapter is only like a page and a half long. So you could literally read one page and then, that could be what you read for the day. And that's where I got the idea for this, because she has a portion here that says oneness versus aloneness. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to talk about that, but alignment, because alignment brings you to oneness. Oneness doesn't mean that you're always alone, but that's a story for another day. So I want to talk about alignment. So, Walking in the Light. And this is by Sandra Ingram, where she talks about healers and how you can walk in the light, where once you get into alignment, once you're walking that path, you'll start to attract people, like-minded people who can help you on your path, or that you can help them on their path. And then Personal Power Through Awareness. And this is an old book. I've had this book. I mean, the pages are yellow. I've had this book forever and ever and ever. Let me just see here. Yeah, so there's a receipt in here dated, dated 2014. So, I've had this for a long time, but it's talking about people who are very sensitive, people who are empaths, how to find your own personal power through awareness, through noticing, this is affecting me this way, so here's what I need to do. It's bringing that awareness. So those are just a few books that will help you on your spiritual journey, will help you. And you don't necessarily have to be on a spiritual journey. You're on that journey to find you, right? You're on that journey to get back in alignment, because right now your car might be, kind of pulling to the right or pulling to the left because you're not in alignment. Create a sacred space. Sacred space is basically somewhere that you can go by yourself to think. Mine is right here in my office. This is my sacred space. I have, pictures of my favorite thing. Of course, Tom Petty's on the wall and Bob Dylan's on the wall, and I've got the Mad Hatter, and I have stuff about the Wizard of Oz. I have art from my kids and pictures of my kids, my incense and my candles and music and my crystals. This is my sacred space. When I'm in here with the door shut, nobody bothers me. So finding that sacred space. I have a friend of mine that there's a place on the Appalachian Trail. I don't know if it's Tumbling Run. I can't remember what the name of it is. That's where she goes. When I was a kid, I used to go to High Rock. Where is a place that you can go to be alone with your thoughts? Creating that sacred space where no one bothers you at that particular moment. Action. Do something. Doing something means not allowing yourself to be stuck. If you don't feel like getting up in the morning, you know what? Set your alarm. Say, I'm going to lay here for 15 more minutes, and then I'm getting up. Set the alarm. Alarm goes off, get up. You can stay in bed all day, but then at the end of the night, then you're not going to sleep because you've slept all day, and then you're going to feel bad because you didn't do anything all day. So it's an action plan. It's movement. Doing something. Put your music on. Dance around your house to music. Go for a ride. Take a dog for a walk if you have dogs. Do something. Put some action behind it. Find your tribe and seek their support. So your tribe are like-minded people. They are your 2 o'clock in the morning friends. And you may not have 15 tribe members. You may only have 1 or 2, but that's fine. Someone that you can call and say, I need some help. Here's what's going on. Someone who will listen and then give you advice for your best interest. Some people will give you advice that benefits them. So it is allowing yourself to find your tribe and ask for help. I need some support here. I'm going through a rough time. Can you help me think this out? There's times when I'll say to my husband, look, you don't need to do anything about this. I just need to say this stuff out loud and get it out of my head. And I'll just say whatever is bothering me. I don't do that as often as what I used to. I used to do it a good bit because then he'd be like, well, what do you want me to do with this? Don't want you to do anything with it. I just needed you to know this was what was going on in my head. He's definitely my tribe. He's my rock. Give yourself space and grace. So, space and grace. Allow yourself to breathe through things. Know that you don't have to accomplish every single thing you've set out to do today. Give yourself space and grace. Grace is built in there for mistakes, for lessons, for starting over. We're all human. We all make mistakes. They're all learning curves. None of us are perfect. I have friends of mine that have to do every single thing perfect all the time, and it drives them crazy because if they make a mistake, then they're in a hole for a little while. That mistake was either a lesson for you or for someone else. That allowed you to navigate your alignment. Okay? Why is your car out of alignment? What's going on? How did it get out of alignment? It was in alignment when I picked it up. Why is it out of alignment? Well, I haven't had my tires rotated in 3 years, and the one tire is, kind of wobbly on the one side. Okay, so now we need to fix that. Sherry says having a 3 a.m. tribe is important. those are the ones that you know, yeah, that are true and understand grief. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have that. Yours is a 3 a.m. tribe. I have a, who's my 2 o'clock in the morning friend? Who is that person? Who can I call that will be there for me? Okay. And then repeat it all, because finding alignment takes time. So after we've meditated, we've done breath work, we've journaled, we've read spiritual practices, we've created our sacred space, we've found our tribe, give yourself space and grace, and then start all over again. Meditate again about it. Breathe again about it. Absolutely, Sherry, because grief comes in waves. You never know when one's coming. Anxiety comes in waves. Depression comes in waves. Anger comes in waves. All of the emotions that you feel during grief or trying to find your alignment, they all come in waves. And no one expects you to figure it all out today, right now, this very moment. And if someone is expecting you to figure it all out today, maybe they're not part of your tribe. Maybe they don't have your best interest at heart, because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this today. Why don't you have time for this today? Well, I've spent all this time with you, and we've talked about this, and it doesn't seem like you're getting any better. And you know what? This isn't the person that needs to be. This person doesn't align with you. Maybe this person is why you're out of alignment. Make sense? So, alignment is the true source of energy, joy, motivation, vibration in your inner light and in your outer light. And you know as well as I do, light bulbs burn out every once in a while, and you have to change the light bulb. So if your light goes out, if your light gets dim, it's re-energizing your energy. It's changing the light bulb. It's going back to meditating. It's going back to breath work. It's going back to journaling. It's going back to staying in touch with who you are, so that you can be in alignment with the universe, so that you can be the best version of yourself. Once alignment begins with you, right? Once you start to come into alignment, like-minded people will be drawn to you. And it's crazy how you will just run into people that have the same interests or working on the same thoughts, or you meet someone that you think, oh my gosh, feel like I've known this person all my life. When I first opened up to Spirit, I had a conversation with God that said, if this is what you want me to do, put people in my path that either I can help or they can help me. Align me with the proper tools, with the proper people. So once you start to come into alignment, all of a sudden, like-minded people will be drawn to you, or you'll be drawn to them. You'll be more aware of taking care of yourself. You'll be more aware of needing rest or needing fluids, hydrating with water. You'll be more aware of how things feel within your body, which means you walk into some place and it doesn't feel right for some reason. It just, you feel out of sorts. You're aware that, you know what, this is someplace that I shouldn't be. You're aware that if someone's name keeps popping up in your head, maybe I should call them and see how they're doing. So you're being more aware of taking care of yourself. You're paying attention to the nudges that you're getting from the universe, from the nudges from, I always call them God winks. God saying, hey, you need to do this, or what are you doing? Don't do this, right? So being aware of taking care of yourself. Work tasks, things that you do, don't necessarily feel like work, because you're in alignment now with what you're doing, and it just feels right. This is what I need to do. This is my passion. It's not work. It's, if you would ask me to plant flowers and garden, that would be work to me. I love the way a garden looks, but just the thought of getting dirt underneath my fingernails Just the thought of digging holes and putting it, I wouldn't put them in the right place. It would just, ugh. You know, my husband's in charge of all that. Our flowers always look beautiful. It's not me. But if you were to say to me, hey, I need you to put together a butterfly release to talk to spirit, to help people grow within themselves, and we're going to do it in the garden. Boy, I'm your girl. Yep, I can do that. Because to me, that's helping others. That's not work to me. Some people are very passionate about gardening. I'm very passionate about looking at the pretty flowers, right? You may be more drawn to nature. That's funny. Here I am talking about, you know, not wanting to garden. But when you get into alignment, you may be more drawn to nature. I am so drawn to the sun. When we go somewhere, if the sun is shining, you know, in my window in the vehicle, I'm sitting, you know, with my face and the sun's on my face. We go outside. I love the way the sun feels on my face. I'm drawn to that. I love the way it smells right before it rains. I'm drawn to that. Okay. When you're in alignment, you recognize signs. Synchronicities may all of a sudden start popping up that you recognize, you know, 111, 444. It's clear to you now why the signs are coming. Where before you might just be like, well, you know, 111 comes 2 times on the clock and I just happen to catch it both times, right? So it's allowing yourself that clarity to see the signs, understand them a little better. When if you don't understand them, you think, I'm going to meditate about that and find out what that's at. Opportunities that you never thought you had will start to fall into place. Things that you've been manifesting, things that you've been thinking about, oh, I've always wanted to do this. When you get in alignment, when you get into clarity, when things, like when what do they say? When the stars all line up, opportunities will start to fall into your lap. You'll run into people who can help you with things or that you can help them. Opportunities to grow, opportunities to bloom, opportunities to be. Yeah, okay. And when you're in alignment, you're positive, you're kind, you're loving. You try to do things for other people. Doesn't mean that's going to be every day. You know, my husband gives me a rough time that says I'm too positive. Why do I always have to find the positive in things? Because I do. But there are days where all I can see is the negative and stuff, and I get pissed off just like everybody else. So being in alignment helps you find clarity. It helps to motivate you. It helps to raise your vibration. It helps you to connect better with the universe. And when you're in alignment, when you find oneness, all of a sudden when you're looking at that person in the mirror, looking back at you, there's not as many regrets because you've figured out, you have clarity on why you did some of the things that you did, why you do some of the things that you do. Are there still regrets? Absolutely. But I literally have clients that will say to me, I hate myself. Well, okay, there's some healing that needs to be done. So let's start meditating on why you hate yourself. Let's start some breath work. Let's start journaling. Because through just those 3 things, healing comes, clarity comes. We're able to move past it. Oh, you know what? I'm not motivated enough to write a journal. I'm not motivated enough to meditate. Okay, well, are you motivated enough to breathe? All right, so you can breathe, right? You breathe every day. You do it without even thinking. It's just that automatic response. So I'm just going to ask you then to slow your breathing down. And then close your eyes and breathe a little bit deeper. All of a sudden, when you're doing this, it's a meditation because you're connecting with your breath. And when you slow the mind down, when you connect with your breath, when you meditate, all of a sudden, things will pop into your head. The whys, the hows, the whos, the things, you know, why did this go wrong? Was it me? Was it them? What is the solution? It helps you to find alignment. And when you start to find alignment, then you start to find oneness, then you get grounded and you can truly live a better life. Now, it doesn't mean it's all going to be sunshine and lollipops every single day. But alignment is important for your own health of your spirit, of your energy, of your body. Because if you're angry every single day of your life, you're not gonna have many friends. You're not gonna have family members are gonna go away because you're just a grouchy old person. If you're constantly negative, all your muscles in your body are gonna be tight. Headaches, stomach aches, what do you want to call them? Leg spasms may happen at night because you're constantly stressed. Constant stress brings on heart attacks, heart disease, anxiety, depression. So do you want to take care of your body so that it will take care of you? Or do you want your body to take over you? Alignment, that's what we need to talk about. That's why I felt alignment was so important to talk about. Allowing the mind, the body, and the spirit to all come together. When I channel, it's always, and I got this from John Holland, it's not me, from spirit, through spirit, to spirit. If I'm not in alignment with spirit, I can't speak my truth through them. I can't speak their truth through me. So if you're not in alignment, you're not speaking your truth. What are you hiding from? What's stopping you? Where's your passion at? Why do you hate your job? Why do you have a dysfunctional family? What's going on? Roll back to the time where you felt the happiest. What happened? What happened that put a kink in the chain? Meditate on it. Pray about it. Breathe through it. Journal. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. Read about other people who have had these situations. Create a sacred space. Go into your sacred space. That's where I meditate. My sacred space, when I first started meditating was the shower. Because it's the warm water. It's that constant right? Do something. Do an action. Go for a walk. Clear your mind. Find a friend. Talk to them about it. Give yourself space and grace. These are the things that will help you to get into alignment. And recognizing that you are not in alignment is the first step. So, that is our talk for today. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's comments. We're talking about alignment. We're talking about spiritual health, basically. Consciousness. Because once you are able to connect with the mind, the body, and spirit, do you ever feel like you're just disconnected with yourself? I don't know why. I just don't feel right today. I just don't know why. And you say that to your mind. I don't know. I'm just not me, myself today. Stopping, breathing, meditating, reconnecting. You'll get the answer. Why am I not myself today? Well, I really didn't sleep well last night. Why didn't you sleep well? Well, I have this new puppy who keeps waking me up every 2 hours to go outside. Whatever. Okay, so what's the solution to this? Well, I have to recognize the puppies are little and they have to go out and that maybe I shouldn't stay up until 1 a.m. Whatever, your solution is. But when you find that clarity, when you get your body into alignment, and literally when I meditate, I'm visualizing that straight white light, and I'm calling in all my chakras to be spinning the appropriate amount that they need to be spinning in sequence with each other so that I'm receiving what I need to receive. I'm seeing maybe what I have not seen or what I cannot see with my normal eyes. I can speak in truth. I can speak in love with confidence, connecting to the relationships needed while staying well grounded. Those are all of your chakras. And if one of those chakras are off, there's going to be a problem. Okay? So it's finding that alignment. So it is March 7th, did I say? Good grief. It is March 7th, 2023. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. My name is Stacy Niedenthal. If you're interested in booking, scheduling an appointment with me, you can go to my website, connectingtospiritwithstacy.com. We've got the calendar on there. Still a little glitches, few glitches, but we're working on that. But I would love to help you to connect with your loved one on the other side. All right. So, as always, I pray that you are living the life you love. You're loving the life you live. If not, you're the only one that can change it. Work on recognizing if you're out of alignment, walking in alignment, or almost there. All right, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday at 10:30. Peace out. I love you. Have a great day. And talk to you next week. All right. Bye-bye.